how can you believe in something that you don't see it with your eyes? Because you don't have a choice, because you are a vibrational expert, because you are the creator that you came here to be. The reason why we say you don't really have a choice is because you can't be the creator that you want otherwise. You're just going to be like so many who just observe reality, who sit there and whatever they get is whatever they get. They don't really have that space or that time where they really ask themselves what they want, because they don't know how to get there. They don't understand how to quantify their journey. And with your emotional guidance system, you can get anywhere you want to go. You see, your desires are not there. You just can't see it yet. And so we have to go to the basics with you. We say, well, you're transiting vibrations at all of your levels. That's what all of your senses are about. You're so good at transiting vibration that you don't even know you're doing it. But everything that you're seeing right now that's physical, it was once a vibration first. It was in someone's vortex. Everything that you're seeing. And for there to be a creation, for there to be a manifestation, there had to be the perceiver or a translator of that vibration. So that's exactly what your desires are like. Your desires are being broadcasted at this frequency, but you're not matching it. When you want something, it's there for you in the vibrational reality, because your source, the source energy that you really are, becomes a vibrational equivalent of your desire and holds it for you and broadcasts it for you. That's why this gap between where you are and where you want to be is not a physical gap, it's an emotional gap, it's a vibrational gap. And yes, we're going to just throw it all at you, because it's so important to understand that your desires are there, but you can't see them yet. And that's completely normal. It's not really grounds for freaking out, because everything that you want is 99% done, even before it's 99% done vibrationally, even before you see any physical evidence. Do you know what that means? It means that even if you don't see physical evidence yet, you're still well along your way. Here's the thing, you're so well along the way, you're so well along your journey that you're almost there. And it's not like you're almost there, it's just that it can happen at any second now because you're on your way. But when you look at reality, you don't see any results, because remember, 99% is done vibrationally before you see any results. So it's done, but now you're on this journey. Now when you take you take score of the reality, you're like looking around, you're like, okay, how much manifested today? You're taking score. You're like, okay, let me, gotta make sure my numbers balance. And you see, wait a second, nothing I wanted to manifest today. So then you start to freak out. You're like, oh my God, I'm doing everything wrong. And then you start to go in the opposite direction, because you were so well along your way and you were just about to get everything that you wanted. But because you didn't see it yet, you turned around. And that's what we're talking about, this vibrational translation ability that you really have. It's subtle. Your desires are subtle, but they are real. And you know that they're real because you can feel negative emotion, because your inner being is thinking about your desire. Your desires are meant to be manifested because you came here for manifestation. This is not a conversation about, it's not what you want, it's not going to come anyways, so just be happy. But that's not what it's about. We know that this is the fastest way to get to where you want to go while also being happy. You see, when it comes to believing in the unseen, you have to learn to become a vibrational expert. You have to learn how to see something before it's there. You have to learn how to believe it. You have to learn how to be happy with it. You can be happy with the vibrational version of your desire, even if what you want is absent. Did you hear how we said that? Because it's vibrationally present. You can feel it. And you talk about why you want it. It's there. You feel it viscerally. It's not physically there. But someone who's realistic, they'd be like, well, your desire is not here yet. So, and that must mean on the progress meter, on the score sheet, you're not where you want to be yet. But you have to understand that well, I'm along my way because of how I feel. And that's what all this is about. You have to start taking score of how you feel and how much you know. How you feel. How do you feel about your desire? Not about how it's going on, how it's working, how are the analytics, how are the views, how is the dollars. It's all about how does it feel, which is a different question, because usually your feeling, your emotions are tied to the results. So you're like, oh, like I'm really broke. I'm not happy at all when it comes to my finances. Or like, then you don't have a choice. You don't have a chance at manifesting what you want because your finances are vibrationally ready for you. But it takes a true vibrational expert to be like, yeah, I'm feeling so good about my dollars, even if their bank account is in the negative and they have debt. Or like, well, you have to learn how to trust this sophisticated translator, because you have 5 senses and you're so good at these 5 senses, but you also have this sort of 6th sense, which is your sophisticated emotional guidance system. It's your emotions. You have to trust your emotions. And so while you're on this journey, while you're on your way towards everything that you want, your emotions are really the only way that you can understand how well you're doing. Isn't that so interesting? Everything is about your selfish intent. You always have to factor in, what am I going to get out of it? How do I feel about this? So for example, say, you want to be famous. Say you want to be the best writer in the world. And you're like, well, why do I want to be the best writer in the world? you're like, oh, well, I do want to save the world, and I am a natural born uplifter, and I do want to write books that other people are going to enjoy, and it puts them in the vortex. But ultimately, I want to be the best writer in the world because I love writing. I love the feeling of writing. And like, basically, that's the piece. Because now when you make it about the other people, the audience that's not there yet, then you get out of whack. But when you make it about something that you can understand and feels good to you, which is the connection that you feel when you're writing, that replenishment, that vortex feeling that must be there when you're writing, then that's all you need to think about. And then the second creation of the big ass audience, it has to come. This is the thing about law of attraction, the art of allowing. What you want has to come, because the art of allowing says what you want has already been answered by source, and all you have to do is let it in. All you have to do is open the door. And the only way that you can do that is by taking support of the emotion of how it feels. Meaning, yeah, it's not here yet, but it's been feeling so good. I've been enjoying the dream of it. Do you understand what we're saying? What we're saying is that your emotions are the only way, only real metric of how well you're doing, of how you're a success, and how far along you are of this journey when it comes to this manifestation. That's how you really quantify your desire, your journey towards your desire. So it's like, you're over here, you're at point A and you want to go to point B, but since you don't see any evidence, any road signs of point B, you know how when you go to a town, it says next and coming up in the next 50 miles, you don't have that physical evidence. And so since you don't see any physical evidence, you get confused. You're like, well, I must be doing something wrong because I don't see any physical evidence. And we're like, but see, that's the thing. You were meant to go right to the end. You weren't supposed to. You were always meant to guide yourself, meaning the universe was going to drop hints for you. The hints are your emotions. What's more louder than a negative emotion? You were meant to want what you want, and then it just comes right. Like, that's what literally overnight fame is. It's always a paradigm shift, because the desire part gets more of the airtime because of how it feels, and then that momentum is just crazy. This is the thing, that the momentum is crazy, because think about how it feels think about how it feels when we say like, oh, what I want isn't here yet, and that really sucks. What I want isn't here yet, but I'm okay without it, and it doesn't seem like we can't even say it because we don't have that type of momentum. But now feel the statement, the following statement: what I want is not here yet, but I've been feeling so good about it. It's been feeling so good. I just love how it feels. I've been living dreaming, and I just love how it feels. It's all going really well. That's how we want you to feel about your desires. We want you to trust how it feels. Take score of how it feels. We want that to be the metric, instead of how far along you are, how many kilometers are left or meters are left, or how much distance is left. You want to see how good do I feel about it. Because here's the thing, from here to there, to your desires, to your dream life, it's fun. It's always fun. It's fun all along the way, because you never get to the end. We talked about this before. You never get to the end. You never get to that place where you're like, oh, I'm done with desires, because that's what you call your death experience. But that's not what we really want you to gear yourself towards. We want you to gear yourself towards this unending and eternal journey that you truly came here enjoying, and we want you to learn how to enjoy it now. But the way that you really enjoy it now is you see this world as a buffet, and the way that you can enjoy this buffet is through the emotional manifestation. Ooh, let's talk about emotional manifestation for a second. What you want is real. It is real, and you can have the emotional manifestation right now. The thing is, the emotion, when you feel an emotion, that's the manifestation. Sometimes we don't really know what we're talking about when we're talking about manifestation. Manifestation is this moment while you're watching this, and manifestation is this face that you're seeing on the screen, and your vision that you're using to see it. And a manifestation is basically anything that's in that moment with you. So your emotions are a manifestation too. A thought, an idea is a manifestation. It truly is. That's what we're saying. This emotional manifestation is so easy to have. And so we want you to get hooked on the emotional manifestation, because when you have the emotional manifestation and you see the value of it, and you're like, oh, like, this is what it's all about, because it feels so good. I love feeling good. I've been feeling so good about money, and yeah, I don't have any, but I've been feeling so good about it. This is the thing though. We want you to get to that state where you're like, I just feel so good about it. I feel so good about it. It feels so good. I'm so excited for it. I'm just enjoying it. It feels so good. I feel the essence of it, because when that's your conversation, it has to come, because the momentum is it's so off the charts. You line up with everything that you want. What you want starts coming in, and it comes in fast, because it's not that there is less resistance in the mix, but you're just having so much fun. That's the thing, is that you're having so much fun. We're trying to equip you for all of your, it's like the biggest 2-for-1 deal you ever get, which is being happy now, but also getting everything that you want. So how do you believe in something that you can't see it? You have to tune subtly to the vibration of it, and you have to be, and when you tune to the subtle vibration of it, you get an emotional manifestation, which tells you, is this frequency matching my source, or is it off with my source? And if it feels good, then you now have the emotional manifestation. So how do you have the emotional manifestation of all the things that you want? Talk about why you want it. Talk about why you want all these things, and then talk about why you want it in an emotional way. I want it because it feels good. It feels easy. It feels like flow. It feels like satisfaction. It feels like freedom. And freedom feels like choices to be who I am, choices to have everything that I want, choices to enjoy my life and to ask myself what feels good to me and to soothe myself and to enjoy my life and fulfill my, and satisfy my senses, have sensory experiences, to eat really yummy food, to buy what I want. It feels like clarity. Clarity feels so good. And you see how it's all emotional words, and there's no real resistance to any of these words because it's so general in nature. So the emotional manifestation is really that, girl. It really is the way that you get everything you want. Because here's the thing: you are on this eternal journey, and how do you know how well you're doing? How can you really effectively and factually evaluate how you're doing along on this journey? Someone would say, well, how much do you have? How much money do you have in your bank account? How much followers do you have? How much songs have you released? How many awards do you have? How many homes do you have? How many assets do you have? And we would say, how do you feel? Because how you feel, whether you're broke, whether you're the richest person on the planet, whether you have all awards, or whether you're just starting out, how you feel is the true success. Because when you're feeling good, your vibration is high and you're in the vortex. And that's what everyone is really coming for. The worst thing in the world is getting to where you want to go, and once you're there, you're like, damn, I really thought I was gonna be done. I really thought my life was gonna get a lot better. But once I got there, I realized that there was more for me to want. And that's the thing. We know that you're gonna always want, but we're teaching you how to always keep up with yourself and to always feel good all along the way, so that when you keep wanting more money, you know how to do it. You're like, okay, I feel good about money. I feel good about money. I just feel good about money in general. I feel good about the essence of it. I feel the money that I want. I feel the essence of my literary career. I feel the essence of my YouTube career, and I feel so good. I enjoy it. I'm having such a good time. Things are working out for me. I'm really doing so well. I'm doing so well. And I'm going to just keep chugging along, and I'm going to keep enjoying myself. And I'm doing so good. I'm so proud of myself. These are the conversations that you will start having as a result. Now you're going to start becoming source energy that you really are. You're going to start to close this gap. You're going to start to truly give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You're going to start really giving this vortex in this vibrational world and the true essence of law of attraction. You're going to give it your all. You're going to give it the true experience, the true comparative experience, and you're going to see results. You are, because it's a law. It's a lot. When you start loving the vibrational essence of your desire as if it's real, because it is real, because you're like, oh, it's not fake, it's not a pipe dream, it's real. And I know it's real because I feel the emotion of it. I have the dream of it. I can feel it viscerally. That's me translating the vibration of it. So it's real. I'm enjoying it. It's not a fantasy world. I'm on my way. I'm enjoying it. And here's the thing, I'm having so much fun. We want you to evaluate your success on this journey by how much fun you're having and how good you're actually feeling, not by what's coming. Because we just know when it's about how you're feeling and you're quantifying how much you're feeling and you're calculating how much you're feeling, and that's your measure of success, then you're going to get everywhere you want to go and more.